Sarah never should have opened that letter. It was supposed to be just another routine evening, but the moment the envelope arrived, everything changed. She thought she had found happiness with Lucas, a charming, attentive man she met online. They had exchanged messages for weeks, and everything about him seemed perfect. Until it wasn't. Their first few dates had been everything she'd hoped for. The chemistry was undeniable, their laughter filling the quiet spaces of the evenings they shared. Yet, after their third date, Lucas began to withdraw, becoming distant and almost too quiet. At first, she chalked it up to the usual ebb and flow of relationships, but as the days passed, an unsettling feeling started to creep in. Lucas would stare at her for long moments, his gaze intense, like he was studying her, dissecting her every movement. It was almost as if he was trying to memorize every detail about her. There were times when she would catch him looking at her with a strange, knowing smile, one that didn't quite match the warmth of his usual demeanor. She tried to ignore it, but the unease lingered. Then, one evening it came, the letter. It was unlike any letter she had ever received before. The envelope was thick, made from a heavy, crimson-colored paper that looked almost too rich in its hue. It wasn't sealed with wax. No, this one had something darker. The wax seal was bright red, dripping from the edges like blood. Sarah hesitated for a moment, feeling a strange sense of foreboding. Her name was written on the front in an elegant cursive script. It wasn't Lucas' handwriting, yet something about it felt deeply personal, as though it were meant specifically for her. Her hands trembled slightly as she broke the seal, the red wax falling to the floor with a soft crack. Unfolding the paper, she read the chilling words written in bold, black ink. You will be mine forever. No one else will have you. If you try to leave me, I will make sure you never find peace again. The message was simple, but the impact was immediate. The words felt suffocating, each one heavy with a kind of unrelenting possessiveness. Sarah's stomach churned as she read and reread the letter, but no explanation made sense. She thought it must be a prank, maybe someone had stolen Lucas' identity. But as she read the letter again, something else lingered in the air. A sense of knowing, a sense of truth. It was as if the letter had been written by someone who already knew everything about her. The thought made her skin crawl. She tried to shake off the fear gnawing at her, but it wouldn't go away. Was this a joke? Was it Lucas' idea of humor? Sarah had no idea, but what she did know was that she needed answers. It was late, and she decided to confront Lucas. The letter couldn't have come from anyone else. She needed to know the truth. Are you hooked yet? This story is about to take a dark turn, so don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be the first to know what happens next. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. She called Lucas several times, but he didn't answer. Growing increasingly anxious, she grabbed her coat and rushed to his apartment. The drive there felt like an eternity, the quiet hum of the car only amplifying the sense of dread that had settled in her chest. When she finally arrived, she could see the dim glow of lights through the window, a sign that Lucas was home. She rang the doorbell, her hand shaking as she stood at the threshold, the letter still clutched tightly in her hand. Lucas answered the door, his expression immediately shifting from casual to something darker. His eyes, which once seemed full of warmth, now appeared distant, clouded by something Sarah couldn't quite place. He stepped back, letting her inside without a word, but the tension between them was palpable. "Sarah," he said, his voice low, almost too calm, "you got it, didn't you?" The words hit her like a punch to the gut. "You wrote this?" she demanded, holding up the letter. His eyes flickered, and for a split second she saw something dark and dangerous there. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he closed the door behind her and stepped toward her, his movements slow, deliberate. "I didn't want to do this," he said quietly, his voice barely a whisper. "But you gave me no choice. You'll understand soon. You'll see. It's meant to be this way." Sarah's heart began to race, her instincts screaming at her to run, but she couldn't. She was frozen. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice trembling. "What are you talking about? What do you want from me?" Lucas walked closer, his smile twisting into something far too knowing, far too unsettling. "I've always wanted you, Sarah. From the moment I saw you, I knew. And now, you're mine, completely, forever." She shook her head, her breath quickening. No, this isn't happening. I don't belong to you. You can't just— But I can, Lucas interrupted, his eyes darkening with intensity. And I will. You don't have a choice in this anymore. He reached out and gently took the letter from her trembling hands, his fingers lingering on hers for just a moment too long. I've waited for this, Sarah, and now that I have you, nothing will separate us. The room felt like it was closing in on her. The walls seemed to pulse with a thick, suffocating air. Sarah knew deep down that she was in grave danger. This wasn't just obsession. This was something darker, something far more dangerous. Lucas wasn't the man she thought he was. Before she could respond, Lucas turned abruptly, heading toward his desk. From a drawer, he pulled out something that made her stomach drop, a small, sharp knife. It glinted menacingly in the dim light. Don't worry, Sarah, he said softly, almost lovingly. This will just make it official. This story is far from over. If you want to find out what happens next, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment below. What would you do if you were in Sarah's shoes? Stay tuned for the next chapter of this dark tale. You won't want to miss it.